People see me and think they're safer. But it's not really me they're seeing. Probably for the best. Knowing everything hinges on a guy from Queens sounds as scary as it feels. No pressure, right?
PlayStation.
Who wants to talk about Spider-Man coming to PS4? I sure do.
Me too.
That's right. And we've got Brian from Insomniac Games, and we've got Bill from Marvel Publishing. Thank you so much for joining us.
Hey,
Thanks for having us.
It's great to be here.
This is incredible. Spidey brought the house down last night. Was sort of the penultimate moment in the big PlayStation press conference, and man, I think it's the one that was this one's been trending for like the last 16 hours.
It's I tweeted last night. It was like kind of a childhood dream come true. And
Yeah.
It's like, it's pretty amazing. I still can't believe we're actually making a Spider-Man game.
I could just as easily sit here and watch this trailer again than talk to you, but I have to keep the show going.
Okay, all right.
So Bill, tell
Yes.
me, Marvel, PlayStation, Insomniac, Spider-Man, all together. It seems like a winning combination.
It's amazing that we waited for the planets to align. This I think Spider-Man represents a new beginning, a new era for Marvel games. This is going to be the most ambitious game yet that we've done, and we wanted to wait till we had the perfect partnership, and that happened when Insomniac and Sony came together, and we just couldn't be more excited to really set the bar for all the Spider-Man fans so that Spidey could swing right over that bar.
Oh, nice.
That was very good rationale.
Thank you.
Poetic.
Yeah. I mean, like I said, it's been a dream journey. Like, I remember, when I first kind of heard about this rumblings in the office, I went into Ted's office, who was our owner, and he goes, "So what do you think about, working with Sony and Marvel?" And I just said, well, of course we got to do it. And I was begging him. I'm like, we got to do this. And I said, oh, by the way, I'd really like to be the creative director on this project. And, he agreed, thank God. And it's just been a whirlwind since. I mean, to keep this under wraps for so long has been like, I've been waiting for that yesterday. I think we all in Sonic have been waiting for that moment just to finally say, okay, it's here. I can say Spider-Man in public, finally.
I know. And I mean, look at this animation, though. I want to point this out. Obviously, Insomniac Games has a very proud legacy with Ratchet & Clank, Sunset Overdrive, a number of great games over a long, long time. It feels like the culmination of everything you guys have been working on.
Yeah, I mean, I think there's a lot of elements that we're bringing to all our different games, whether it's our world building, whether it's, traversal, which we did a lot of in Sunset Overdrive, taking those lessons we learned and injecting them into Spider-Man. The humor that we've had in Ratchet, bring it, that's a big part of the Spider-Man character, and making sure, when working with Bill and, Mike Jones, our executive producer over Marvel, making sure that we're being really true to the character, but at the same time, mixing things up. That's what we want to make sure that people understand that, yes, we want to be really respectful of the franchise, but at the same time, we want to surprise people at the same time.
So we're just going to keep running this trailer over and over because it looks great. I told the producers, just keep looping the trailer. That's all people want to see. But I'm told there are a number of Easter eggs in this trailer.
Yeah.
If you watch through, they're planted. They're there very quick, but they are there.
Yes.
And I think it gives a hint of the storytelling that infuses every stage of the game. When you talk about Insomniac and Marvel, it's all about storytelling. And that is at the heart of everything we do, and that is especially true, and it's been crystallized here with Spider-Man in this game. So yeah, there are Easter eggs, and they all speak to the story of the game.
Oh.
Yeah, and I think like, if you look at, whether it's the films, the Netflix series, when they announce something, there's always a little something for everybody, and we really wanted to make sure that we did our job as well, in like, giving people things to talk about and speculate on, and there's nuggets here and there that definitely, if you've been watching the trailer and scrubbing through it, you can find some pretty cool stuff.
And I think all of that comes from what you said earlier about childhood dream.
Yeah.
The funniest thing was last week,
oh my God,
we were at the offices, because
yes.
the Marvel Games office is like 10 minutes away from the Insomniac office, so we're there back and forth, and we were there the last time, and we were having lunch, and we're all sitting around,
great.
and we all just started talking about what's, what was it, a comic book? Was it a cartoon? What did you first see?
Marvel Memories,
Did
that's
you
what
have,
I called it,
we busted out the underoos, like I had those, and we all talked about our childhood memories, and everyone at the table all began at an extremely early age and are lifelong fans of the character, and that is what everyone is pouring into the game. It's like we're remembering who we were back then and saying, I wish I could do that, and now we're doing it.
There's 20, 30 years of pent-up interest here that you're pouring into this game.
Yeah. And it's just, we understand how important this character is to a lot of people. It's important to us, myself, everybody at Insomniac, and we just want to do it justice. I think that's the thing, is we just want to make sure that people walk away unbelievably happy. And this is kind of the first taste of that journey that we're going to be going on.
So far, so good, based on what I'm seeing in social media, and based on what I'm hearing. So I know I'm not going to grill you guys too hard, because I know it's early days on this game. A couple details, though, I do want to sort out up front. So this is not related to any of the cinematic stuff that's going on right now, right?
It's standalone. I think we've been inspired by everything that you said, all the different mediums that Marvel has, whether it's film, animation, live action, comic books, even like just years of, hey, t-shirts of what does Spider-Man mean? So we're looking at everything, and we're blending it all together, but it's standalone.
Yep.
All new story, all new world. We want everyone involved in this to tell their story.
Yeah, I mean, for me, it's about respecting the traditions of the franchise, but mixing things up. It's that blending, and I mean, honestly, that's the thing that I've been so surprised with, but like also just so excited about, that, working with Bill and Mike and everybody at Marvel, going like, well, can we try this? Sure. What, like, just having we have a lot of freedom, and and that's been a surprise. I mean, I've never worked on, like a Marvel, Spider-Man, or any licensed product before, and just being able to have that freedom and crafting this unique universe.
I think that's,
I'm
glad to hear that. I'm glad to hear that.
We do like these guys a lot.
It's ingrained, like when you're at Marvel, when you're brought up through Marvel, it's ingrained in us we are a creator-friendly company, and when we are lucky enough to work with people of such great talent, we want them to do what they do.
Yep.
So I remember on the comic book side, we would hire in writers and artists, and we would say, what is your vision? How can I help you express your vision?
Yep.
Now, we are caretakers, if you will, of the brand, but the Marvel brand, we're always stretching, we're always challenging, we're always moving the characters forward. So it's just ingrained in us to work with the best, help them tell their vision, experiment, put it out there, and let them like live your fantasy.
So if you ever want to get excited about Marvel, talk to this guy for like
I'm so fired up.
20 minutes.
I'm
How
so
can you
fired
not
up.
I remember the first conversation I ever had with Bill, I just sat there and I took about 7 pages of notes within an hour. And one thing that he said right off the bat that I still to this day talk about, he goes, the best stories are when Peter's world and Spider-Man worlds collide. And we have taken that and just throughout every day of this development, we have, are we hitting that? And that's, being able to have access to, Bill and Mike and everybody at Marvel, and just like saying, are we doing that the right way? And then them asking us, from the development side, how we can tell that story. It's been, like I said, it's been a fun, I mean, even just from the design of the suit, having that flexibility to try something a little different.
I think it's my favorite suit out of them all.
Thank you.
Out of them all.
We like that.
There's people. I know people have questions about it. And we will answer them. There are answers for everything. And again, it all comes down to love of the character and telling our own story. And there is thought put into every aspect of the game, and there is definite thought put into that awesome suit right there.
We asked the question why a lot to ourselves. Like, well, why are we doing this? How does it tie into the universe? How does it tie into our main character? What's the ramp like cause and effect? We're always talking about that because we want everything to be buttoned up, and we talk a lot about cohesive, being a cohesive package. I feel like that's what makes a great video game, a great story. We always want it. We don't want it to extend ourselves just because we want to fulfill that. We want to make sure everything feels really cohesive because that's what Marvel does really, really well.
We know that a few things about the title. We know that Peter Parker's a little older in this one.
More experienced, for sure.
A little more experienced, yeah. Now, how does that, influence things?
I think it's from, the way he moves around the city. From, you saw that scene of him, running through that coffee shop. Parkour. More. Our swinging is just going to be more than just swinging through. You saw that shots of the city. We want him, flesh out his traversal set. So definitely going to see more of that. But just the way he fights, it's going to be more of an experienced, someone who's been doing this for more than a couple of years. So we definitely want to make sure that his fighting style reflects that, for sure.
And
go ahead, Bill. Sorry.
I was going to say, as you say, everything that he does, you see that he's learned, he's experienced, he's really mastering his skills. And as Stan said, what Marvel does is put the human in the superhuman. So like us, we learn from our experiences. Hopefully we grow, we learn from them, we get better, and we just wanted to think, we're always thinking, what would Peter do? What would Peter do? And put ourselves in his wall-crawling shoes. Yeah. And he learns, he gets better.
Whenever I talk to the team or talk to Bill and Mike, or we always we talk a lot about Peter Parker. For us, Peter is as integral as Spider-Man. We talk a lot about the story, telling the story of the man behind the mask. To us, Peter's as important as the Spider-Man character. We really want to make sure that, and I think that's what, whether it's the comics, the animation, whether it's live action, they're always telling it's more than just about the guy in the suit or the woman in the suit. We want to tell
it's the person.
It's the person.
It's the person.
Again, a very human story.
Marvel always does a great job. You think of the films as you meet the characters before they get their powers. You fall in love with them. And they get the powers, and that just makes their life more complicated and interesting. And so you care about him up there on swinging through the rooftops because you care about Peter. And it's all connected.
See, I told you he's really good at this.
I got to read some Spider-Man right now.
Yes, you do.
That's awesome. So we're almost out of time, but I was hoping I know again it's very early days, but from a mechanics perspective, any kind of abilities, anything like that, are there some new things we're going to see Spider-Man do here?
I think we're gonna push him in some areas, whether it's traversal, whether it's fighting, whether it's just open world exploration. We're gonna be really tapping into everything. Peter's a really smart guy. How does that tie into not just his life as Peter Parker, but when he brings it to the fight? So we definitely want to tap into he's a really smart dude. How does that play out when you're actually playing the game, when he's in the suit?
Spider-Man at his full potential, at his full power.
Yes,
that's 100%.
Awesome. Yes,
I am super sold. Spider-Man's coming to PS4. Do we have a name for this thing yet, or is it just sort of Spider-Man right now?
Spider-Man for right now.
Spider-Man for right now. All right. Well, that works for me.
Thank you.
You guys,
I was gonna say, follow the hashtag on Twitter. Follow us on Twitter, and as the months come, we'll be talking more and more about.
We have a lot more to talk about.
Game.
I'm sure you do. I am sure you do. Guys, it's been awesome talking here about Spider-Man.
Thank you for having us.
Yeah, I mean, clearly one of the big highlights last night for PlayStation's E3 press conference. The crowd went nuts. I mean, what did you think of that show, by the way?
I've been to 16 or 17 E3s, and that was probably one of the best press conferences I've ever gone to. The Sony staff did an amazing job. It was just game after game after game. And that orchestra.
The orchestra, and the men's chorus, and
awesome.
And the woman over there on the drum, and then everything that was descending, and it was
great.
Crazy cool.
I love going to those press conferences, and that was a hell of an experience.
Hell of a show.
That's awesome. So, guys, thanks so much for stopping by. Spider-Man, it's on the lips of every gamer, I think, across the world.
PlayStation.
All units, 1010S at 36 and Park. Repeat, all units be advised. Shots fired at Fisk Towers.
Yuri, I'm here.
What do you see?
Find the rest. Boss wants them dead.
Looks like the demons are moving in on Fisk's territory.
You got this?
I got this.
Fisk's men have fled through the building. Eliminate them.
Should've worn a helmet.
You got what you came for. You don't need to kill us, too.
Fisk's territory is ours now.
Not today.
Spider-Man! Tell the boss is here!
Hey, Willie.
You.
Nice jumpsuit. Slimming.
Stay out of my business.
Wait, the demons. Who's their leader?
Keep my men alive and maybe I'll tell you.
Saving bad guys from other bad guys. Not how I thought today would go. Hey, big guy. Is that a Higgs field? That's actually really cool. Fisk, your men are safe. Your turn. Who runs the demons?
You're about to find out. Check the roof.
He's here? Martin Lee. Oh, come on. No, 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 no! Let's go, let's go! happen? Yeah.
I'm getting reports of a helicopter with a wrecking ball.
It's complicated. Turns out Martin Lee is running the demons.
The guy who runs the homeless shelter?
Like I said, complicated. Sit tight, Yuri. I got this. Please, let me got this.
That helicopter is destroying the city.
I know.
You need to bring it down.
I know.
Maybe you could superhero a little faster?
Working on it, Yuri. Too close. Okay, Lee, here I come! Hi, is this the flight to Newark? Why are you doing this?
Because no one else will! Ah!
Lee, this is crazy! This isn't you!
You don't know me!
Need a plan. Need a plan real fast. I guess this is the plan! Come on, Pete, you got this! You got this, you got this, you got this! Please don't screw this up. Mr. Lee? It's over. Come on, dude, let's go. Miles!
PlayStation.
Welcome back to PlayStation Live from E3. We're here to talk about Spider-Man. All right. I'm Justin Massengill. This is Sid Schumann. We've got Brian and John here from Insomniac. We got a full couch. We have a lot of people excited about Spider-Man, and I'm very excited that you guys are bringing Spider-Man to PS4 in 2018.
We're excited to bring it.
Let's start by talking about that amazing trailer, gameplay demo, that really long video we saw last night.
That's a mission in the game. That's not a trailer. It's actual a segment of the game.
Yeah, so yeah, we saw a lot of crazy Spider-Man high-flying acrobatics. This was really the first time we saw an extended look at actual gameplay from Spider-Man since the big reveal last year.
Yep. I think we showed about like 90 seconds last year and about 8 minutes and 30 seconds, so it's a little bit different.
Yeah, it's a little bit different. And one of the things I think is so interesting about what we're seeing here, and we're seeing it right now, I mean, this is a Peter Parker we don't see too often. This is a more experienced Peter Parker, kind of, you know, really powerful at the height of his powers. We're going to see some of that here in a second. But tell me a little bit about how you guys approach that, you know?
So I think one thing is we wanted to, we wanted to create, first of all, we wanted to create our own Spider-Man universe. We didn't want to tie it to a particular movie or a particular comic series. You know, John and I talked a lot about, and the rest of Insomniac talked about, like, let's do our own thing, and Marvel totally embraced that. And it started with, let's make him a little bit older. Let's put him, 23 years old, just graduated college, and really at the height of his, mastery of his powers. So, when it comes to his combat or traversal, or even his gadgets, because he's a smart kid at the same time, or smart young man at the moment, right? And that all hopefully is represented throughout this demo.
Yeah, it really shows in the video that we saw and in the stuff that we're seeing on screen here. So many cool like acrobatic takedowns he's doing, zipping around, like stringing guys up with his webs. You know, it looks like you guys got that swinging mechanic, which is so hard to get right.
Critical though.
It's hard.
Looks like you put a lot into that.
I think John and I talk a lot about, and obviously Rest in Insomniac, which I'm just going to say Insomniac because it's everybody, is this is a fantasy fulfillment, right? We want to feel like Spider-Man, whether we're swinging through the city, fighting, or even the story that we're telling. We want to put you in the role of that character, so we just want to have that be expressed as best as humanly possible.
Yeah, this looks incredible. I was telling you guys earlier that I'm a huge Spider-Man fan, and I feel like this game really kind of takes all of the different elements of Spider-Man, of Peter Parker, you know, the storytelling, his relationships, his, you know, snarkiness, and, you know, the one-liners and all that stuff.
Well, I'll let the lead writer talk about that.
Yeah, I feel like it really takes all that.
It's one of the challenges with working on a Spider-Man game is that he's got all these quips that he can do, and that's something that I think a lot of people expect. However, in a video game where you do a lot of things, you know, over and over again, you know, you don't want to have the same quips, you know. So that's a big challenge for our writing team, is making sure that you know, you get the feeling of Peter Parker and Spider-Man, but you don't get the repetition.
Yeah, I think it's for us is have him look at the situation he's in, that particular situation, and comment on that situation. Like, there's a reason why he says something about a Higgs field when he's fighting that big guy in the bridge.
Yeah.
You know, like, use the situation of what's happening to drive the humor rather than just, I'm just going to say one line for the sake of saying one line, because...
Well, I love how he doesn't, like, get intimidated by it. He says, huh, that's actually pretty cool.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, remember, he's a smart guy. He sees that. It's impressive to him.
And it's about science, too.
And it's about science.
Part of his character. Yeah. You know, he sees this guy and he's like, oh, it's a Higgs boson. Wow.
I think the other thing for us is, like, outside of the humor, it's the relatability of the character. And there's that part, like, one of my favorite lines is the very end of the helicopter sequence. He's looking down the helicopter, go to first person, he goes, please don't screw this up.
Yeah.
So, like, even though,
that's
like...
because he's always thinking that.
Because I'm always thinking about the game, I'm like, oh, please, let's not screw this up. Please don't screw it up. Like, there's actually probably a line in every trailer that's about us as a team making sure we don't screw it up. Yeah, because I think it was like last time it was no pressure, right? I'm like, there's no pressure. And now it's like, don't screw this up. There's a level of that relatability that we want to come across, which I think what makes people like you love Spider-Man so much is that you can relate to him in some way, and we want to make sure that comes across in...
I've never met anyone else who can shoot webs out of his wrists.
Well, you know, he's a really smart guy. He just creates web shooters, so hopefully, you know, you can just make your own web shooter.
So, speaking of no pressure, this is an original story that you guys are putting together. This isn't based on a certain comic book arc. This isn't based on a movie. You guys are giving us your own take on Spider-Man, and John, you're the lead writer. No pressure, right?
Yeah, well, so there is a lot of pressure because it's a character that we all know and love, right? And you have to be able to give people what they want, you know, in being able to be Spider-Man. But you also want to have something new and fresh so that, you know, you're not just experiencing the same movie or the same comic, you know, storyline that you had before.
Yeah, two things really drive us, I think, on that element is, one, we, like you said, everybody knows Spider-Man, so we want to respect the tradition of the franchise. We want to stick to that DNA, but at the same time, we also want to surprise people.
Yeah.
And then the other thing is, and you know, you get a hint of it in the demo, but as we get more into the story is this idea that the best stories when it comes to this character are when Peter's world and Spider-Man worlds collide.
Yeah, yeah.
And you saw some of that a little bit in the trailer where when he shows up at the top of that bridge, you know, that tower, he says Martin Lee. He doesn't say Mr. Negative, because for him, he's like, Martin Lee, I know that guy. He runs the feast shelter. My Aunt May, works at the feast shelter. So you're seeing that collision of his two worlds. And we feel like that's something that's driving us across the entire experience, and we'll make a great story at the end of the day.
Yeah, that's really the bedrock of the whole story is Peter Parker and Spider-Man. Make sure that we represent both.
I got to just remark on this incredible footage here. And I mean, just to clarify, this is an open world game.
Yes.
I mean, worth just confirming that for the record.
Yes, it is an open world. That is Peter Parker in the suit. So I just want to clarify based on a thing that happens at the end of the demo. That is Peter Parker. He actually says Pete in one line because I've memorized every line of dialogue, and when it plays, I can tell you what he's saying at this point. Yes, it is. You will have freedom to explore the city. It's big. For us, New York City is a character within itself, right? And we want to deliver on that fantasy, just like when it comes to traversal, comes to combat, comes to this human story. New York City is such identified with its character, and our artists, our designers, our world builders, everybody in Insomniac is making sure we deliver on that fantasy.
It's so cool. The artists have this map, this like really detailed map of every neighborhood in Manhattan, and you know, they all have its own name, and you know, it's really cool how the team is working.
Yeah, like I was playing the game, like just a little inside baseball. Like I was playing the game before the show because we had we're working on things.
Sure.
And this one thing I was playing, it makes you go around the city, and I was like, man, this city's big. Like our character moves pretty fast, and he can, and for us, like the way that we've designed the traversal, like no obstacle is too big for him. Like you can just constantly parkour your way through if you like, snap the line or something. And it just feels like a big place I want to explore, and we're definitely going to deliver on that.
A big city that looks really fun to explore because you're Spider-Man.
Yeah.
And it looks like you guys really nailed the swinging mechanics and the wall running and all that stuff.
Yeah, we definitely want to, level accessibility with like, hey, I want to feel like Spider-Man right away, but then there's that extra level of stuff that we're doing behind closed doors that like, you can vary up how you get to that helicopter.
Oh, nice.
You saw certain people perch, you can just run up walls. That turn that he does around the corner, that's actually the character, the player saying, I'm going to run alongside this wall, and then I want to do a sharp turn. Just press right on the D-pad, and boom, he does that swing around.
Nice.
If he hadn't done that, he would just kept going down the other street.
I need to figure out where you guys are doing this, and I need to get in there.
Yeah, I mean, it's a level of like, we want you to jump in and feel like Spider-Man, but then we want to have those levels of like, when I see like someone like Scott, one of our project managers, play the game, I'm like, I want to play like that.
Okay, last question from me. We saw Martin Lee, Mr. Negative, last night. Is he the antagonist of the game? This is the first time we've really seen a villain, or like, what's the deal?
I'm glad you brought up Martin Lee, aka Mr. Negative, because one of the things we talked about unique Spider-Man universe, right? And part of that journey for us was say, we want to have some classic characters that people really know really well, like Wilson Fisk, Kingpin, who we saw in that. And our game actually starts with taking down Kingpin and this new group, but also having characters you may not know about, they're newcomers, like Martin Lee, Captain Yuri Watanabe, who's talking to you on the phone. We want to have a good mix of them. So Martin Lee has a very big part in the game, but we have a very big cast. We've kind of just scratched the surface of the story. It's a big story. Like, I was presenting to somebody a couple weeks ago, and I just sat back and go, that's a pretty big story. There's a lot of things going on. So it's just, we're giving you hints. We're going to definitely talk more about that and really kind of show you all elements of our journey between.
But one of the things I love about Martin Lee is that, we talked about this collision of Peter Parker's life and Spider-Man's life. Martin Lee, as a character, he has a positive and a negative side, right? It's Martin Lee, it's Mr. Negative. And thematically, that's really fun to play with in the story.
That's a classic superhero trope, too, I mean, there's a lot of other characters, but I think Spider-Man kind of uniquely tackles that.
Yeah, I think what we noticed is his best villains throughout his years are the ones he has some type of connection with.
Dr. Octopus.
I don't want to say any name because then it's if people go, oh, he's in the game or she's in the game.
But we know the names. We know the names.
Yeah. But I think it's when he has that connection to that character as Peter, it just means a lot more. It makes for a better journey as you're playing this game.
Yeah, that's right. So you guys are coming out in 2018.
Yep.
What are you going to be doing between now and then? Like, what's next on the agenda as you? What
are we not going to be doing? I mean, from up and down, from the building the world to our missions to our story. Getting feedback from this conference and injecting into the game.
You can send me a build. I'll give you as much feedback as you need.
It's everything. I mean, you guys are interviewing a lot of talented developers. They probably all say these are not easy things to create.
Yep.
And for us, we know how important this character is.
Yeah.
It's important to me. I mean, I grew up with this character. Like, I've been telling people, like, my mom used to give me my Spider-Man action figure because it was the only thing to distract me when she was shopping in a store, and I'd create these scenarios with the action figures. To now, today, watching all those movies and TV shows.
And this is the ultimate realization of you getting to play with that Spider-Man figure.
I mean, we talk about, power and responsibility. At Insomniac, we feel a lot of responsibility to make this as good as people want it to be, and it's a lot of stress. It's a lot, but we're so excited to work on it and really humbled to be able to have this opportunity.
And we also do a lot of iteration too. Like you asked what we're going to be doing. We're going to be redoing stuff.
Oh yeah.
And making sure we do it until it's great.
So it's going to look even better. In other words.
Oh yeah. I mean, I think you see the difference between last year's trailer and this year's trailer.
For sure.
I mean, I think you're definitely seeing improvements across the board, and that will continue as development goes on.
And speaking of how it looks, I was just checking out the trailer earlier on PlayStation's YouTube channel. It's in 4K there.
Yep.
And I know you guys are doing a lot of support with PS4 Pro, so just give me a quick overview
so
of
actually we are showing the game. We are in our demos, we're showing it in 4K, running on PS4 Pro, HDR support.
Awesome. Nice.
But I will tell you, like, I play the game at my desk and a regular PS4, and it looks great.
I have no doubt.
It just looks great. So I think both versions look fantastic.
Good stuff.
Yeah.
Awesome. Well, I couldn't be more excited that Insomniac is working on a Spider-Man game. It's a match made in heaven. Comes out next year. That's Spider-Man coming to PS4, has PS4 Pro support, 4K HDR, you know, all the bells and whistles. Brian, John, Sid, thank you very much for joining us.
Thanks for having us.
Thank you.
And yeah, stay tuned. We'll have a lot more coming up on the PlayStation Live from E3.
PlayStation.
The greatest thing about working on a Spider-Man game is that you're working on a Spider-Man game. The hardest thing is that it's a Spider-Man game. We really care about storytelling here at Insomniac.
And I think that's how we go into every day we come here. There's this push to really get it right.
One of the most compelling things about Spider-Man is just when Peter Parker and Spider-Man's worlds collide. And we've tried really hard to weave the two stories together to create a story that is not necessarily just a superhero story, but a human story as well.
So this Spider-Man is a little different. He's older, he's 23, so he's been Spider-Man for 8 years, and kind of like an athlete in the prime of his career, he's starting to get good at the Spider-Man thing.
The nice thing about playing an experienced Spider-Man is that he's already familiar with his powers, right? He's not just discovering them.
We always think of Spider-Man as, we call him, the acrobatic improviser. He's looking for not only how he can take advantage of where the enemies are positioned, but what around him. Could he use this object to grab with his webs and throw it at an enemy? We want people to not only see the enemies in front of them, but the environment around, to take advantage of both of them.
He also knows that the criminals out in the city know how he works as well, so he's got to mix it up.
So even though he is more experienced, the challenges are going to be bigger than he's ever faced before.
Spider-Man has a rich history of having great stories. The core of our story is this duality between being Peter Parker and being Spider-Man. What's cool about Mr. Negative is that he also has a duality. He's got his positive side as Martin Lee, who runs the homeless shelters in the city, but he also has his negative side.
When Peter makes the connection that the leader of the Inner Demons is the guy who my aunt works for, we got the perfect collision of those two worlds.
So many people have their own vision of what Spider-Man should look like, what he should sound like, and in the end, we just have to put a new and fresh twist on who he is.
And for us, it's really, really important to deliver those big spectacle moments, those near impossible scenarios that only someone like Spider-Man can survive, and put you in that action.
You got this, you got this, you got this!
We understand what this character means to people in here, and we're making this game with a lot of heart, and we're going to do whatever it takes to give people the ultimate Spider-Man experience, the game that they've been waiting for.
PlayStation.
With Fisk behind bars, what's next?
And the city's safer than ever. Maybe Peter Parker can have more of a life.
Are you in trouble? Do you need money?
No, I mean, I'm a little behind on my rent, but no, I'm fine.
Take care of this place. It represents the best part of me.
This is Miles. He's gonna be helping out around here.
For acts of extraordinary bravery. I'm the one who kept order in this city!
What is this? Devil's breath.
Your city and everything you care about will be destroyed. The people will beg you for help, but you won't be able to save them.
Get more backup. Wait!
Maybe the city needs our friend more than you think.
Whew! Anyone else need a breather?
PlayStation.
The raft is secure, but I can't reach them over radio. Their comms must be down. What's your status?
Already here.
Yuri? I thought you said it was secure.
It was. Let's go. Maybe it's not as bad as it looks.
Love the optimism. But in my experience, when it looks bad, it's usually worse. Look out! Yuri!
I'm slipping!
Gotcha. Hold on! You okay?
Yeah.
Welcome to the party! Just in time for the fireworks!
Looks like we made parole, boys! I'm out!
Electro? Why is he letting everyone out?
I'll head for the main control center and see how bad the situation is.
Got it. I'll go join the party. Everyone just quietly go back into your cells and lock the door behind you. Okay? Please?
Spider! Teach you to mess with me! Get him down here!
Incoming! Like fish in a barrel. That doesn't sound good. Oh, hi, Rhino!
Hope you like surprise, Spider!
Surprise? What is he talking about?
Hey, what's your status?
Me? Just trapped in a prison with every criminal I've put away in the last 8 years. No biggie.
Electro must be working for someone. Keep up.
This is too good to be true.
Scorpion, can you hold on a minute? I was in the middle of a phone call and it was business.
Charge him! Don't let up!
Lost you for a second there. You okay?
Not really. Electro, Rhino, and now Scorpion are all on the loose. What's going on in the rest of the prison?
Camera system's almost up. I'll give you a sit rep soon.
Okay, I'll keep tracking Electro.
Whoa! Come on, Spider-Man. I thought this was a chase.
Gotta stop this guy. If you tell me who you're working for, I'll go easy on you.
Can't stop it. But I'm flattered that you still try.
Nobody ever takes me up on that offer.
Gotcha.
Vulture! What?
Long time no see. We're going to have so much fun.
Sorry, no time to talk.
Still with me, huh?
Okay, I got the security cameras back online.
How's it look?
Well, it looks like the entire population of the raft has escaped. That makes 5 of your worst enemies that are now on the loose.
For a second there, I thought you were serious.
I am serious. I have to go. Some of them are heading into the city.
This is nuts.
Keep chasing! Party's almost over! Electro, stop! How do you like my new suit?
Dashing. Where'd you get it?
It's an exclusive club. Remember, he said not to kill him.
Good idea. In fact, we don't have to do this at all if you don't want to.
We definitely want to.
You?
PlayStation.
Hey, do you have time to check something out for me?
For you, Yuri, anything. I'm on my way. Hey guys, bird watching? I saw some pigeons over there. Can't have the ones inside feeling left out. Going down. MJ, I'm at the first location on your list, and guess what I found?
Demons?
Give the lady a prize. See if you can figure out what they're up to while I introduce myself. You're just not very observant. Oh, sorry, did I startle you? Play the quiet game.
Spider-Man, Shocker has escaped, and now he's robbing a bank on East 31st.
What happened? I thought he was behind bars.
He was, but one of the guards just walked up to his cell and released him, then gave him his suit back.
I knew Shocker was working for someone. What did you get out of the guard?
Wish I could ask him, but he's dead. Whoever made him release Shocker didn't want any loose ends.
Damn.
Looking at the security footage, the guard was in some kind of trance. And it might have been the lighting, but it looked like his eyes were glowing.
Well, that's creepy. Okay, I'll see what I can get out of Shocker when I get to the bank. Herman! Long time no see. Hey, I'm no lawyer, but I'm pretty sure that's a parole violation. Oops, guess we're stuck in here for a while. Want to play 20 questions? No? How about we thumb one? Okay, face punch it is. Whoa! Your gauntlets are all digital now, aren't they?
Have it your way. You wanna fight? Let's fight!
Man, can't wait to put you back behind bars so we can talk science. Remember our first fight? Me so young and stupid, you just stupid.
You talk too much!
Well, that's a matter of opinion. I mean, are there any standard metrics for how much talking one should do? And who determines the ideal ratio of talking versus not talking? Also, how would you measure it? Now I can do some real damage. Why are you doing this, Herman?
Don't kill me!
Come clean, I can help you!
You really want to help me? Don't let me have the money!
Sorry, not gonna happen. banks anymore. You're lucky you found actual cash. If you really want to rob banks, try day trading. It's all the rage. Oh, come on, Herman.
Not even sure these guys are people. Could be anything under those masks.
Wait, did you say masks? This one's gonna hurt. These mascots, what do they want the money for?
Don't know, don't care. As soon as I finish the job, I'm gone.
Coming your way! Now and we can protect you!
No way! You ain't see what I do! What the? You son of a...
Okay, last chance to give up. This time I really mean it.
Quit moving!
Okay, I was kidding before. Now is your last chance. Seriously. Sorry, Herman. You brought this on yourself. Literally.
PlayStation